Okay. Welcome, this is Funny Animator Jim TV. We're playing against Physicist1993. We're playing 15-10. It looks like he's doing a King's Indian defense. We might just, yeah, he's just playing typical King's Indian. King's Indian. We'll see if he's gonna go for the E5 or the C5. We'll see after he castles. Castles. I probably should have tried this. Maybe the Sandwich maybe, but I think we'll probably just do main line. I really need to find something to play against King's Indian. Something that's good against King's Indian. Something that's not the main line, because, oh, well, this isn't the main line King's Indian. He's playing interesting. Alright, so maybe he's looking to play C5 and then knight E5. Then we just take, and this dark squared bishop isn't going to be great. So I think we can just castle here. Let's see what he wants to do. Maybe he'll play E5 and then knight C5. E5 and then knight C5. If he plays E5, I wonder if we have to do this D5. I mean, the main benefit of closing the position is it takes away this dark squared bishop's influence. But the main benefit of keeping the position open is so that black can't do a king side attack like he does. Yes, he is playing E5. Do we want to close the position or not? That is the decision. Or do we want to open the position and allow his dark squared bishop to get influence? I mean, we can do something like take, and then just leave the pawn there, and that closes the bishop off, which is interesting. We close the bishop off, and then if we come here, then we get a nice square here in front of the isolated pawn, which is interesting. Or the bishop could slide across to here if it needs to. I think this is interesting. We can take, or we can just go with the main line, and then on the next move, black will play knight to E8. We can go here, 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 here. It's too late. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do this knight, this here. Alright, we're going to exchange and then follow up with bishop E3. I think that'll be fine. Or maybe F3. Let's do bishop E3 first. We're keeping the tension. We're not taking immediately because then his rook will get active. So we let him take, and then that allows us to develop our rook. So we don't take. Yes, the reason why I'm going for this line is because black can't do a king side attack because the center is a bit more open than it usually is. If we can maybe take. No, we wouldn't take. He would just push on. So he's coming over here. I guess he was thinking we were going to take the A7 pawn. Okay, F3 maybe to stop any intrusions or something. I guess he could take the queen and then play something like knight G4. So let's play F3. Let's play F3, just safeguarding these two squares, and that does also limit this bishop. So I think this move is pretty good. It restricts the knight restricts the knight and restricts the bishop. So this little pawn move is very nice. We can play b4. I have seen this in a game played by Jeremy Silman where he just stormed his queenside pawns down the board. I think that might be a nice plan. I think that we'll try that. See what he does. And then also with this f3 move, our bishop does guard the dark squares. And our king is able to get centralized. Okay, he's coming here. Do we stop it or not? I don't mind if he takes our bishop. Okay, he's maybe trying to do this. Or he's coming here and then playing queen g4. I don't know, something along those lines. He wants to attack on the queen. He wants to attack on the king side. We can play c5 right now. Maybe. Of course he can't take. We can play c5. c5 might be good because then if he takes, we get a very active bishop, and he has a weak pawn on c7 and on a7. Actually, we can defend ours with a3. c5 I think is looking pretty good. If c5, knight f4, that's probably the best move for him. We can play queen c2, maybe. Or he plays, or c5, queen takes. I think we're going with c5. I think it's fine. I think this is good. We can start operations on the queen side. It also opens up this bishop a little bit more, so we have new squares for the bishop to go to and start attacking. We can play queen c2 maybe. And then start attacking over here or something. This bishop is protected. I wouldn't really like to give up this bishop for that knight for two reasons. Number one, this is a very good bishop. I'd like to keep this bishop. He took that bishop. Okay. I don't think that's very good because that bishop of mine wasn't very good. That's it. And his knight was very great. I would trade this bishop for that knight any day. And he just gave it, and he just gave away his knight, which is fine by me, of course. Okay, so, and if he plays any time f5, trying to attack this pawn, it gives us a very good square for our knight. This pawn, potential target. I don't want to take here because then it gives him an open file. So I can go here and try something like this. Or let's do a counter punch. And then, this is the only move, let's do a counter punch on his queen. Let's do a counter punch. Or a counter attack. So the only move to protect the pawn is to come here. Queen f6, but that blocks the bishop. I think one of Black's main things he needs to do is to exchange this bishop off. That is the main thing he needs to do. Here we can create a weak something. No, we can't. Alright. Let's just defend the pawn. It's fine. Here, maybe we can attack like this somehow. Might be interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of tension right now on this board. There is a lot of tension. Where does my knight want to go? My knight up here. Something like there or there. b5. is definitely where, or, well, he's probably going to be playing c6 soon, and the bishop also guards the d5 square, so maybe the d5 square, and we can try to attack in the center, which is the idea. We want to attack in the queen side in the center. We have completely removed black's chances of doing a king side attack because black has no more knights. Knights are better in the king's Indian defense than bishops are. In general. It's not a fact, but it is a guideline. Okay, he's coming down here, attacking our queen. There's no skewer. Good thing we played this move. Wait, could he have played, I wonder, could he have played that earlier? No, he played a5. So that at that point he was threatening, but then we can play this. Okay, so it's interesting. So he's attacking our queen. Where do we want to go? Well, we're certainly not doing this and that. We would get a great d5 square for our knight. And the outpost. Let's try that. Great things we get from this move. Great square for our knight. And great square for our rook also. I think this is going to cramp black a lot, and this is the only good square the bishop has, where it does guard those critical squares. But if I can swap the bishop off, then there's a really juicy square up here for one of our pieces. So it is interesting what's going on here. And now he's coming down here to attack something. Might want to keep this knight. I'm not sure whether we swap it off immediately if we just go into the end game or something. Maybe b5 was slightly better for our knight because it gives the knight a better future, but this is fine. I'm fine trading the knight because this is black's bad bishop and we have a quite active bishop. Let's think about this. Do we want to take with the pawn? I don't think so because it opens up his bishop, which is the theme of this. We're putting pressure on the pawn. We're putting pressure on this pawn. We're bringing the rook and the queen to this file. I don't think black has any counterplay. We can just tuck up with this move here. Just to do one final tightening up of the position. Because if he comes here, then there's maybe ideas of attacking this pawn. We do have to be careful in the endgame. Other thing is, since we've pushed f3, our king can easily enter into the fight. We can come up to e3 and push f4, which is an interesting idea. Just having some soup. Alright, so I think this is good for us. I really do. All our pieces are situated on light squares, which is great. And all his pieces are on dark squares, so there are some ideas of skewering. We can put our queen on d2 and skewer away. If we can put our queen on, he's choosing to swap right away. It's interesting. Now he's coming to here, and it's important that we do this. We have to do this properly. We're coming to here. We're keeping the tension. We do not take To take is a mistake. If we take there, this would be a very bad move because it would allow black's queen to dominate the file. Now if black takes here, then it allows our queen to dominate the file. So it's very important that we don't take. Okay, so these are black's weak points right now. If we can get our bishop like this and our king up to here, something. Of course, the entry points into the black position. All right, now we are very active. I think this is very, very good for us. I'm not sure what black's going to do. Maybe he's going to put the bishop here. Okay, we have to think of ideas. We're just active. That's the main thing. We have the only open file. I don't know what black's going to do. We've got to get our king active while we can before we trade queens. It's going to be a bit risky, but we got to get our king active before we trade queens, which is slightly hard because the king's side, there's still some opportunities in the queen's side. Okay, he's coming to here. He is coming to checkmate us. He's coming to checkmate us. So we can do this. And if he comes here, that doesn't do a lot for him because we can snap off that pawn and then snap off these two pawns. Let's check for anything else he might be able to play. Here our king covers these two squares for the queen. I think this is fine. I think this is perfectly fine. G3. Just threatening the queen here. And this move is not very threatening. The only thing this does is stick our king on that square because he has to defend this pawn here. So that's not good, but we do win this pawn. Okay, he went back. So now he's targeting here. Okay, I'm thinking bishop c1, just trying to control as many squares as possible. Here, maybe here, because we protect the pawn, and our bishop is guarding that square also. So if we were to drop the bishop back, we can put pressure on the pawn, but it also gives up our queen here. We can trade queens. We can bring here. Yeah, he's got weaknesses all over the place. This should be fine, I think. And our king is coming to the center. You can see we have great angles for our bishop here. The bishop has targets. You see all of our pawns are on the opposite color of our bishop, which is great, whereas his bishop here is on the same color. So it's kind of looks like a big pawn. This is an interesting move. I kind of like. I do fancy this move. all the squares on this diagonal here. Okay, so he's trying to come here. Okay, he wants to move there. Okay, how can our king get activated? Thinking 2 moves here. Well, our bishop is going to be fine anyway. We come here. We got to get the pawn off of the dark square. Because then maybe here. Then we can push, try to create some queen, maybe. It's a very small chance, but it could work, could be possible. Maybe, this, I gotta get this last pawn off the dark square so our bishop can get freed up. I think that's what we're doing. Yeah, we're just gonna have to give up that square. Yeah. We do have to take. Where does our king go? Do we want to go this way? Yeah, this might be a draw. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Does our king... Well, our king can't... Yeah, I think this is better. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Which is interesting. Okay. Okay, so I can try to keep his king blocked like this. His king can't come to these squares. So I think the best move for black is king here. Oh, no, he's going back. I don't think I want to change this up yet. I don't want to take, of course not. I don't take. It's interesting what's going on here. I'm going to offer him a draw, just if he wants a draw. We come here. Here maybe. Here might be the best because then we're pressurizing the pawn. Then we can come up here and here. I think there is best. Maybe. I mean, if he comes down here, then we just shuffle along this rank, and or just if he comes there, then of course we go back because we can't let his king come in. Now he's going there. Now he's trying to come in here. He's trying to take this path. Okay, he declined the draw. That's right. Alright, so I can try to break here and get my king into the light squares. We're both trying to get access to each other's light squares. Okay, we can move the king upward again. I think, yeah, we gotta get our king closer. If we can get our king on a light square, then it is interesting what's going on here. Okay, so it's just this diagonal we have to worry about. It's a matter of zugzwang for me, I think. And if we can do this, then we can park our king on that square. And then have ideas of marching these pawns up and creating some kind of a passed pawn. maybe. But this game is close. This game is definitely closer than I thought it was going to be. I don't think he should take. I think he should push. But then if push, then we get something like this. Here, here. Yeah, he should definitely take with that pawn. And then push. Maybe. Gotta get the king to a spot where this bishop can exchange. Here, we have to exchange. Well, no, maybe not. Well, we'll see depending on how the position changes. Based on how the position changes. Okay. Now he's coming down here. No, what he's done is he's freed up his king. So if we come here, yeah, we can try. Whoops. Here, here, and then he just closes it off. We can try taking here. Yeah, I think this is, it's strange. It's definitely strange because I can't break through to his side. I can't break through there. I'm thinking I have to attack some of the pawns, some of the pawns down here with this bishop because that's the advantage that I have. Or I can continue down here. I come up here, he comes there. I come down here, he comes down there, maybe. And then I push one and he comes here. Problem. We're going to try this. Maybe he'll give us a tempi or something. But there is definitely a problem, I think. I definitely want to get my king to where he guards this square. I definitely got to get my king over here. Yeah, that was... I could have done 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. Instead, I did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves. Okay, he closed off. He closed that off. Alright. Should we press? I think so. He comes down here. We just have to do this quick. What's he trying to do? Okay. Gotta get my king up here to try and defend this. Yeah, he just... No, I think... Okay, I think that move, and it's a draw. I think that move signifies the draw. Because now my king can sit on c4 and I can push h3 and shuffle my bishop all around, and he can't do anything. Yeah, I think that's that. I think this is a draw. Whew. Okay, I think yeah. There's nothing he can do now. There is nothing he can do. He cannot. His king cannot get into either of these squares, and his bishop can't do anything. I can just whirl my bishop around, and there's nothing. This game is just a draw. Maybe I have. Now here's the critical point in the game. Here is the point in the game. Do I just make a draw, or do I just make a draw, or try to no? Do I do I make a draw, blue, or do I try to get some kind of something? No, I think after here takes, push. Yeah, there's no stopping. So h3. I think this is a draw. This is just dead draw. Even though I have a slightly better piece, I don't think there's anything that he can do to make progress, and there's nothing I can do to make progress either. So so 37 ... h6 was black's last chance to get any kind of an advantage. Yeah, this is a draw. Good game. Well played. Alright, so after that analysis here, you can see that I did have chances. I did have very good chances to win the game. This is just normal King's Indian defense here. Yeah, the computer does think that taking is the best move. And after this here, maybe I'm using too many arrows. Let me turn down the number of arrows. There we go. Okay. Maybe 2 is... No, it's not. Okay, b4. Okay, it's fine, I guess. Yeah, queen c2. I was worried about this move. Queen g5. I was worried about that, because then I'd have to give up something. He comes here, then there's some check ideas, and then we got this. And I'm gonna lose this guy, who is a really great guy. I really don't want him to fall. But here, this knight takes was a mistake, because he gets rid of my worst piece. He trades his great piece for my worst piece. Then I throw a counter punch here. He pushes, and I did have this availability earlier on, but it was interesting. Oh, he pushed there, that was right. And then I did have this knight move here, attacking the queen and the pawn, before the bishop gets to here. That's the thing. And after here, I'm just winning with my extra pawn. But yeah, I missed that, and I instead pushed c5, c6 right away, which was a blunder. It just gave away so much potential. And then after here, I just take with this. I do still have a slight advantage, but here, taking would be a huge mistake. And then he pushes again. If I take here, that would just be horrible. So I preserve that. Takes with the queen, right? Queen here. Queen d2. G3. King g2 was interesting. Bishop c1 also works, but king g2 was the best. a4. It does allow the king into there. So then here it was getting interesting, and I started sweating a bit. What? Oh, what? Oh, wow. Wow, okay. So I do have to watch for tactics based on this. Yes, I did lose a game as black, where I had a pawns like this, where white had pawns like that, which is interesting. Bishop d6. I did push taking here. Yeah, I felt I had to get my king over as quickly as possible. Yes, I think h6 here. The computer doesn't think it's bad, but when in the game I thought that it was bad because it just allowed my king to get closer in time. But I did not realize, I would never have realized that after this continuation here, that he can't, yeah, he does have this. I just thought that the dark squares and everything, it would have been, maybe, I would have just gone for a draw here because I would not know how to win this. But I did not realize that if I have to prevent this, he can take here, and then there's this checkmate net all of a sudden. It was a very interesting game, in fact. Here, and then, yeah, and then there's just, I don't know what's going on here. What is he supposed to, oh, right, I take all this, and I get this pawn, and then I just go for a queen. But yeah, this was a very interesting game. It was a draw, which was interesting, and thank you for watching the game. I hope you learned something from it, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.